tonight's going to be a very special reading by a good friend, a very, very sweet, loving man, Drew Blood. He's been in this Riverside area for many years and has been very active in a lot of activities and events that basically deal with gay issues and a lot of support from the community. Drew tonight is going to have a reading. It's going to be a poetry reading. I'd just like all of you just give him a big round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We've got programs tonight. I've never done a reading like this. Not just picking up one of my chapbooks and reading out of them. I do have my chapbooks available over on the table there. The lovely Dawnette. Happy to direct your money into the big gold urn over there. And the programs will explain the way these are being read. So right up here. So feel free to take one, or Darren's passing them out, or not Darren, Scott. Everybody wanted one gets one? Okay, this first section's for Randy Gerke. This is the first poem I wrote for him. It's called 24/7. 202% of the time, hand on a heart, he's got mine. Blur of words, action as his plan. Intensified living, annihilation man. Got no family, he roams the streets at liberty. Bad boy so fine, a gaggle of girls giggle. He swaggers past and grabs the last laugh. Yo, I know ya, stop in the street to speak. Befriends the homeless and haggard. Parties downtown with winos and speed freaks. Punk's not dead, them boys be bad. Kick you upside the head. Pass that buck, different generation. Don't give a fuck, Mr. Annihilation. Sure is good, he's got a belly full of food. I grin and bear it, he bums the smoke. One look in his eyes, I know it's no joke. One. He sure is something, but he ain't the one. Can't be, no way, hard to understand as I bite my tongue. Curve of his lips makes for a powerful kiss. Looking at the ground, I don't know what that is. One will always be one, as in no one or anyone. Learn my lesson on how to sleep alone. Once upon a lifetime, you only get one. When it's gone for good, you know it's done. Abandoned. Cut cold, it doesn't have to be. The hardship of friendship does not dissolve so easily. An iceberg floats near the edge of sanity. Going gone. Took a long time coming. It don't look like no future when two people have been so ugly and brutal. You left me in the dust. I left you no shelter, just rust. The present is all but finished. Between us, the love is diminished. On the far side of life, somewhere you reside, an empty space invades. Inside that place, a hole is made. The cost is a loss. I paid dearly to have this pain resolved. Time will heal, still there are scars. I never believed that you really cared. Now all I know is you're not there. Tried so hard, I have to accept this fate. I cannot turn my love into hate. Love lies bleeding. I dream of you lying in my bed, caress and kiss you from your head to your toes. In the end, it's my broken heart that knows the knot of life will not bind our two souls. I wish till I'm blue in the face that you feel for me as I do you. I cannot make you, and I don't want to. Your right to life is whatever you care to do. I place a bandage over the crack in my heart. The pump of love is not so easily stopped. My loss of blood leaves me on my knees, with scars on my arms to show that love lies bleeding. A fucking bloody mess is what's left after the rest. has been tossed into the trash. I try to smile, I try to laugh. I only hope this is the last. With my last breath, I witness death, perhaps chance to understand that what I'm sowed is now reaping, and my heart love lies bleeding. These are all like those romantic, I left me. Boy to boy. No two spoons lie together, fit together. The perfect match. One is one and is alone. Never to touch, kiss, hold, or be held. Once it was like two knives, dueling, slashing, cutting, stabbing, left me sobbing with a throbbing heart on. Release is a tease, the orgasm that never came. The feeling is draining, all color and light leach out of my eyes. Brain dead, comatose, catatonic, no witch hazel could really heal or stop emotions that I feel. Down in the bottom of your pool, I tied a rock around my neck, left myself naked and foolish. Boy bothers boy, as one not so quietly slips away. The stream is for fly fishing, caught in the web of dreams. The madness of realities for night music, or the fork in my belly. West of me. This is about when I was down in Laguna Beach, and Randy used to work on Catalina Island, and I could see Catalina. It was really, this is about looking across the ocean, seeing the island. West of me. I stand and look out to the west. On an island is where you're kept. There's more than an ocean that divides. Dig my heels in the sand and have a good cry. Do you ever look to the east, wishing me a little rest and peace? The pull of love is a warm hug. The seed of me gets splashed across the rug. It would be so lovely to pull cotton down past that area where leg meets hip and abdomen. Another lost wish to dream again. I cast all thoughts into the sea. Hope sails away on a stiff breeze. Understand it all like a deadly disease. You're out of here, west of me. Lay of the land. While the beautiful boy sleeps, sunlight dances on his cheek. With this vision, I go weak at the knees. All I see has become a dream. There's no perfect kiss or perfect gift I could place on his lips. He's gone now, his smile I miss. It's just what it is, a mistake I admit. The earth is cracked and dry, a hot Santa Ana whips clouds through the sky. Desert now encroaches where I never should have tread. This once thirsty paradise lays dead. In the back of my mind I see his sad puppy eyes. All the lies over the years never realized. Can't hide my love, I can only compromise. It's all so much dirt. Mountains are pushed up out of the earth. Lessons not learned, they have no worth. I've buried myself to remove the hurt. This kind of sums it up. It's called These Pains Are Very Hard. I knew the day would come, yet still I am ill prepared. A dreadful feeling creeps inside, giving me chills on a hot summer night. It is the good life that always seems to pass me by, deposit me into the gutter, and utter decrepit. These days I feel fragile, on the edge of emotional turmoil. Sinking feelings cannot be erased. One more time, this pain is on my face. Leaves fall brown, scatter on the ground, only to be blown away when love strikes hard, like a hurricane. I can never forget the way he looked taking a nap. Hot July noon, it's picture perfect. He slept like a baby, unaware and innocent. Smile. I stand on the threshold of pain. The faggot jokes. the daily diarrhea, the foaming mouths. My own body is unforgiving. For your smile I keep moving. It's a pure love that transcends sexuality. A smile in my life, warm glow of light is beauty. Inspiration to live is truly a gift. It's the movement of your mouth. Now I understand how. You give me this, fulfilling my wish. All I need is your smile before I expire. When I see death rasping for my last breath, there's a crease on my face. I go to sleep in peace. Okay. This one's called The Death of Me. It is the beautiful pain of your silent face, and the fire this time turns to ashes all that remains. Physical pain does not touch my skin. It's what lies within that gets me every time. To kiss you is a dream come true. To sleep with you is the blood I drew. All them harsh detergents could be shot into my eyes. I will stumble in darkness, totally blind, and your voice awakens me with the gift of second sight. To look upon you once is enough beauty for the rest of my life. To live and share, to breathe the same air, to wake up in the morning and touch your hair, the empty space forever there. I need your gifts and all that will never be. Your kind of love that will bring me peace. No matter how much I wish to swallow your seed, my pain is beauty, it will be the death of me. Of course, that's all metaphorically speaking. This one I've only read once before to an audience. It's called Mad Parade Passes By. Boy whore. I yelled it in his face and watched his lips quiver like he was going to cry. This was 3 weeks after I'd asked him to leave my house. I'd spent the better part of the last 2.5 years supporting this boy. I gave and gave. He didn't seem to appreciate all I'd done for him. He hadn't seen me the night before I told him to go, struggling and crying over a decision I had to make. Boy whore, I screamed at him as he rode off on a bike that was not his own. Some are givers and some are takers. That moment I felt used. My thoughts flashed back across a broken, cracked sidewalk. He had been bopping along, clutching a bottle of Southern Comfort. He sure is fine, I thought as we passed each other. He called my name. I'd not seen him in years, not since he was a 14-year-old punk boy coming into the record shop I'd worked at. I gave him my address, and later that night he stopped by. I fed him burritos and we drank a few beers. Somehow we ended up sitting on my bed. I placed my hand on his crotch. Did he want a blowjob? No, he didn't go that route, he said. Disappointed, I let him spend the night and many more thereafter. So many memories rolled through my brain as I walked home. I had not grown accustomed to the loneliness of my dwelling. I sat on my bedroom floor, placing photographs of him into an album, a way to seal the past. I was angry and hurt. The last thing he'd taken from me was my bike I paid $50 for. He said he'd pay me for it on his next payday. That day came and went. This is why I yelled boy whore in his face. After all I'd done for him, he couldn't remember to pay me for a lousy bike. Knock on the door, it's him. Anger flashes as my voice rises. It's not the $10 he's offering me after all I'd done. It's me loving him and him not giving that love back the way I wanted. We were yelling and shouting at each other. His fist flies and there's blood streaming down my nose. My blood tasted like revenge as I wiped it all over him. I was livid and wanted to wreck his world. He called me a sexually frustrated homosexual, which was true. Around him, I am. Later, as I remembered this, he used the word homosexual, not faggot, and I realized that there was respect and, yes, even some love. I could not carry through with the threats I'd made that day. I couldn't stomach it. In the weeks that followed, I was forced to look at my own emotional attachment to this guy. Why him? Why me? I'd suffered my share of unrequited love. Answers for the soul never come easy nor clearly defined. I saw a child who could not be seen. He was all vague like an outline. I saw the love in the little boy. His energy was love, a burning chunk bouncing off satellites. He had already landed in this and that man's arms. His own arms couldn't hold him. He loved, so he ate. To give all he had was not enough. Look inside, my child, what do you see? I realized that I'd missed my friend, all that he taught me, from a game of cards to the respect he gave and had for himself. He has shared something from deep inside. Our little boys laughed and ran on that energy little boys have. I was a child again, excited at the prospect of an adventure each new day brings. Music throbs loud. I dance with abandon. He has taught me well. Still among the broken toys of two little boys fight, there is something that remains. Respect and love survives. With sadness in my eyes, I look to the future and what it will bring. Okay, this is my few little punk rock poems. This poem, Mohawk Redemption, was in on the New Germs tribute CD. It's at the very end. You have to just let it play. It's like a mystery track. Anyway, it's called Mohawk Redemption. In the cesspool called rock back in '77, there was this thing that got the ball rolling. Hey man, remember the Germs? I'm an old fart now, but I still play their records. Anarchy right now seems like a long time ago. Spiky hair, ripped shirt, and black boots. Pistols damned in all the punk groups. In a fit of inspiration, I shaved my head, joined the ranks of the blank generation. I saved my soul through Mohawk Redemption. Broken Circle. This is about the last time I saw Darby Crash, who was the lead singer of the Germs. It was a couple days before he died in December 1980. And this is from 1980. I know that feeling, the need to let go. I think I feel the blood flow. I think I feel the drugs now. I remember that face through the window of a car at Okie Dogs. That speed we all need is gone and forgotten. Fuck you, Michelle, he yells, then slumps in the car at Okie Dogs. On this stage of light, the spotlight is strange. No one understands the feel of change. No one understands the feel of death till we reach out to touch it, and the circle of life is broken by death. Wrecking Monkeys. This one is about, this 17-year-old kid, 15-year-old, who asked me when was the last time I dressed punk. I was like, what does that have to do with it? I'm 37, punk rock's 20 years old. It's called Wrecking Monkeys. Hey, Mr. 15-year-old punk rock dude, capital D, little PP, where were you, not busy bothering to think up something new? Dress in excess, conform to success, wants to be the punk rock mess, but you missed that ship, it already passed. Yes, so you got that look, comes to you out of a history book. So the fuck what? Just shut the fuck up. Your buddy there, the 17-year-old dingleberry, the way you dress really scares me. You look so bad in them big black boots. I see you 10 years down the line, Mr. Business Suit. You're in, you're out. I'm so bored with those words you spout, along with the shit out of your mouth. Mohican head, inspiration from a generation long gone and dead. You don't get it, Mr. Anarchy. It cracks, it's really sad, so I crack up laughing. Lay of the Land, number 2. Acid-tongued spite walks down Hollywood Boulevard. An empty bottle of vodka gets hurled at a passing police car. Stars and studs on leather forever. Mangy hair with a lipstick smear. You are what you were. There is no hope. There is no cure. 1,000 cigarettes light up the night. Under the marquee, faces painted ghastly white. In the back of the line, they all get a turn. Cover up those scars where the cigarettes burn. Neon now, go down. The green lawn, on the green lawn, the first rays of a purple dawn. Don't look now, 'cause it's all gone. As the sun shines behind the times, last call on this light, vanishing into daylight. Trash in the gutter, where somebody lay sprawled. Out of the wreckage, life begins to crawl. What's past and present? Tribal ant warfare was just too hilarious. Black flag kills ants on contact. Hardcore is serious. Darby Crash said, but now he's dead. They'll charge you on the way out. Hollow eyes stare, beer is poured in his mouth. Exene screams her poetry at me. Lost angel of pornography in a desert by the sea. Squeeze clubs, throngs dance. Smashed pogo loud. Heavy boots fly, slammed in the crowd. Only Donnie Rose knows punk rock heart and soul. His kiss of innocence is a young life burned to a crisp. Music and style so intense. Try to keep it up when it's all been spent. Try to stay outside when a generation's lost its sense. Things are never the same when the cycle comes round again. Say you tried to lose some pain. Say you tried and failed in flames. Okay, this is the queer section. More sissies. I heard a rumor. Throw more flames on that fire. Sisters, be perplexed. This straight life world has got very tired. Michael Stipe of REM, come out and admit that you like men. Everyone knows Joan Jett is a lesbian. All the little punk boys who worship Darby Crash, listen up dudes, your idol was a fag. See and be seen, use your voice and scream. It's time for society and government to admit of the population, dykes and queers are 10%. We need more sissies in our everyday parades. Kick up your heels, this is no time for charades. Bring about some change in this nation of shame. Out of sight is out of mind. For too many years I've done my time. A society that oppresses is one I find tragic. I'm happy that I was born a faggot. Thank you, Mom. My mother's here, by the way. Thank you. This is called Fine Art Fag Bash. The fine art of fag bashing is at a very healthy point. Unlike a lot of my fag friends, they, I'm afraid, are not doing so well. I seen homophobia today displayed on a 10-year-old face. The minute he perceived the sissy in me, I became some sort of lower life form. But hatred is a learned thing, and I am learning not to hate myself. I can't say much to change that 10-year-old boy's opinion. It's a learned thing. Faggot on the playground is a dread word that carries a heavy stigma. After years of negative stereotypes, misfits, fairies, sickos, AIDS, I am always expected to kill myself. You'd have a heavy stigma too. a lower form of life as seen through a 10-year-old's eyes. Just another bug to crush. I've developed a hardened exterior. This is a poem that a friend of mine and I wrote together, John Pofall. It's called Fag Division. Let me lisp without any shit. I give you my gift in a flick of fey wrist. This queen is mean, honey. Just watch where you step. You try that on my back, and in your world I'll wreak havoc. I'm a punk hunk. Don't feed me any of that straight edge junk. If I want a green mohawk and high heels, I will do whatever I feel. I have my arm around this boy with all these other boys with arms around their boys. You kept punching us with ugly fists. We kept getting up with blood on our once beautiful faces, and you kept pounding. You ripped our arms off, took our legs, peeled our skin, hacked out our tongues, and still we came. We never stopped coming. We are bubbling pieces of hissing meat with our entrails dragging. Our silence equals death buttons down your sidewalk into your neighborhoods. We stalked you and never stopped. You were scared. We were together and proud at last. Bash this trash, I'm out of the bag. Ain't going back, it's fun and drag. Too much joy in a division of fags. Freedom from fear. One of these days I'm gonna walk down my street holding the hand of another man. There will be no screech of tires or the sound of laughter as faggot gets yelled my way. Just because love is love, it is no one's business who I sleep with. Looking towards awareness in an age of tolerance. It ain't here yet, not by a long shot. The new Cold War is homosexuality, restriction of freedom in this land of liberty. I see the flag and I turn red because so many of my friends are dead Americans. Them stars and stripes rip through my life. And them red ribbons are not enough. If this nation had compassion, it could be the right stuff. Little understanding would go a long way. Without justice for all, America digs its own grave. This one's called Don't Ask, Don't Tell. It's not about what you think it is. He was a hotshot daddy. Walked right up in front of me. Cover your ears, mother. Walked right up in front of me. Stuck his tongue in my mouth. Pants slid down. All this took... I can't read this. You'll have to. I can't read this one.
That's so cute.
No. I can't. I'm sorry.
She's covering her ears. Okay. You're listening.
No. No, I can't.
Is it on your tape?
Yeah, some things were meant to be private. Okay, this is more sissies. No, that was it. Okay, this is the AIDS section. And this first one I wrote on the eve of this decade, so it was 1980. Will I live to hear those words? They found a cure, I'm not real sure. I've seen so many friends become distorted and thin, bodies beset by opportunistic infections. Still there is hope. This is a no-win situation. In this decade, the ignorant should be ashamed because they're afraid to care, hug, or touch those of us infected with the virus. Still there is fear. Slowly but surely, people have become aware. Science has made some advance. For a few, the future still holds a chance. I care about those who died alone and in fear. It is for these souls that I shed my tears. So many who were young and strong, over 60,000 now are gone. Some of the brightest and very best passed away in this decade of death. God, into his hands he wept. By the way, I'd like to dedicate this portion of the reading to Michael Beechler, whom I just found out today died a week or two ago. And I'd particularly like to dedicate this poem for him right now. It's called Dead Friends Go. Now you're dead, Michael Levy. There's nothing left to prove. Another good man gone, another pair of empty shoes. Dead friends go as that stupid bus goes. Goodbye, Gary Clump. You went over that hump and left this dump. You were a sexy guy and I appreciate the love. Dear, dear Phil, after all those fucking pills that didn't save your life and it makes me sad inside. I miss you, my friend, until my own end. Dear sweet Bill, you were with Charles still. Every hour of every day you were missed. You were ripped from all our lives, but the memory of you still survives. Jorge, what can I say? A gentle soul is what I knew. At Camp Colby we had fun, and now you're gone. Too many lost in a single year. All the queers I hold dear. My dead friends go, along with my tears. This one's called Black and Blue Poem. There's some Neil Young rip-offs in here, so I thank him. I gotta tell you, it's much easier to deal with a six-pack of beer and a big fat joint than it is to deal with 6 friends in the hospital at the same time. Most are likely gonna die. Those were guys who were once filled with joy and real laughter. This is my generation. We were supposed to grow old together. I guzzle my beer at full throttle, like a big baby sucking lips around that bottle. Beer tastes so good and I remember what it's like to slide a big one down my pipe. My, oh my, hey miss, hey, faggots who die are around to stay, 'cause it's so much better to burn out than fade away. Them queens are gone but not forgotten. Put all hope in a pill that's fucking rotten. I'm gonna use my mouth 'cause very few people seem to know how. Gonna use my mind untied. There's more to the picture that meets the eye. Hey, hey, my, not everyone who gets AIDS is gonna die. Dig what I say, it ain't no lie. My, hey, hey, this nasty virus is here to stay. Better use protection or face the risk of fading away. It's all out of the blue and into the black. Keeping my mouth shut, I can't do that. 'Cause once you're gone, you can never come back. It's all out of the blue and into the black. This one's called Pneumocystis at Christmas. Pneumocystis is a pneumonia that hits a lot of people with AIDS. This is the season. It's all forgotten, all is forgiven. This is the season. There is no reason. It's late December in a New York City hospital. A rare pneumonia has raised its ugly head inside the lungs of a vital young man. Hospital whites, unlike the dirty snow outside, struggle to hang on to dear life. Caution, contagion on the door reads the sign. Temperatures rising, 105, 106. Doctors, nurses, machines react quick. A shot of pentamidine to his leg. This is a young life they're trying to save. It's December 25th at the hospital in New York City. Some members of the man's family have decorated his room for the holiday. All the nurses on the floor drop by to inspect and enjoy the decorated room. The man's family gathers around the hospital room to eat a takeout dinner. Sushi is what the young man requested for that Xmas dinner in New York City. He is so brave, the look on his face. Words cannot express, I will never forget, this young man's peaceful resistance. in his fight against Pneumocystis at Christmas. I miss my friends. For Paul Luna. It feels like forever, like there was never a time before. This virus can kill with such swiftness, and it's getting lonely as I bear witness. So many names, so many faces, all the stories that they could tell would leave the heart aching at the sheer loss of so much humanity. In my soul I hold on to hope. Through all this death, I can grow. With the passing of a number of friends, our times together were well spent. This is what I realize, remembering the faces of all I missed tonight. I'm saying my prayers, I know they hear, off in a better place, these friends I hold dear. Will the last to leave please turn out the light? Gone forever, can you imagine? The thought makes me shudder. Past all past like leaves of grass. A part played to death till nothing is left. Memories contain what was alive. On this strange stage I cannot forget. Lines form circles in rings of trees. It's hard to never mind what is diseased. Looking all around, counting sorrows till I found comfort and ease in my own sense of peace. Life goes and no one knows. All rivers flow into the sea. I want to breathe a sigh of relief until will the last to leave please turn out the light. It's nothing frightening, just a part of life. Scatter my ashes when the mood is just right. Turn off the light, now is the time. Passed out of existence into the divine. This one's simply called for Tommy, and that's who it's for. Go up, go away, go to a better place. For your soul, I believe, in my heart you are at peace. Lost from my sight, you're still in my mind. Could be the smallest of signs bring tears of joy into my eyes. I would not exchange the experience. You touched my life, made a world of difference. I hear your voice now at a distance. Not an end to my feelings when I lost this human being. They've made it, slipped over to the other side, and I say goodbye from this end of life. My heart swells in a fond farewell. I remember life as a promise of hope, to give a smile for your soul. The circle. I have seen a disease wipe out the best minds of my generation. Wasted, painful, yet beautiful. Ugly, it is necessary. The nature of within and without. This disease clings to me, a rude awakening, a gentle calling. My soul stirs and is forgiving. The war wages on. I have learnt to be calm. All those who have passed before me, I give my thanks and honor to thee. I cannot count all of the dead. It has no bearing on whatever lay ahead. I have been ignored through years of neglect from the medical establishment right up to the president. Still I'm a seed and I continue to grow beyond all the hate to come into my own. Grasping and clasping, I crawl out of the pit. Slipping and sliding, I fall back into it. My open grave is the place to bury the pain. Kiss it goodbye as I walk through the gate. The eyes of heaven have fallen on me. Embracing it all, I comprehend my disease. Gather me in the circle that never ends. Back to the beginning, start all over again.
One more.
This one's been published in a few places. It was written in 1988 when Reagan was president. It's called Silence Equals Death and was inspired by ACT UP and is for them. I will not be silent. I will not shut up. This is my problem. It is also yours. It belongs to the world. Yellow rubber gloves do not daunt me because the thousands of silent voices haunt me. Great white elephant in your Oval Office, must we be your sacrifice? There's blood on your hands on the White House lawn. Ignore a people's plea, how long must this go on? We educate ourselves, learn to fight an enemy called HIV, smuggle drugs, an underground laboratory because the FDA has not approved them for this country. Exercise in fear, uneducated people who cannot accept another lifestyle. You only know how to hate and discriminate. Dead lovers, dead brothers, dead fathers, dead mothers. Their silence is woven into the American fabric. Down in the trenches, New York, San Francisco, Los Angeles, 250,000 dead. There will be 1 million more. Too few people, such little money fighting this war. Thousands of us march, yet no one takes notice, except the cops in rubber gloves who arrest us for civil disobedience. I will scream and beg for myself and all those infected. I will rant, I will rave, I will not go silently to my grave. This is my war, but it is also yours. It belongs to a world without a cure. And that's about it for the evening. I want to thank you all for coming down. Like I said, if anybody's interested in my work, it's over on the table. And just put the money in the urn.
And cassette.
And cassettes. Thank you very much.